It happened, folks. Something huge just happened that's going to have a massive impact on the next stimulus package. So, we've got huge updates for seniors in regards to stimulus checks for seniors and Social Security changes as well. So, let's discuss the details. But before we jump into it, do me a quick favor, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and share this channel with anyone who you think might find this helpful. This is a community for seniors, and my job here is to be a voice for you and be a voice for seniors to make sure President Biden keeps his promises to increase Social Security benefits, increase SSI, ssdi, and VA benefits, and even approve a stimulus check for seniors in this next stimulus package. At this point, everybody knows that Bernie Sanders is trying to include a stimulus check for seniors in this next stimulus package, but Joe Manchin has continued to make things difficult. So let's do a quick recap, see what's happening, what we expect to happen next, and what actually just happened that's going to have a massive impact on stimulus checks for seniors. Before we jump into that, let's do a quick update on daily trending news. Now, one thing I want to point out is with seniors living on a fixed income, a lot of seniors are actually moving out of the country, living in other areas that are much cheaper to live in, where they can actually live on their benefit and live a good quality of life. See, this article is titled, "I Never Expected to Retire in Panama, but we are living very comfortably on $1,200 a month for two people." Now, this couple moved from Florida without speaking very much Spanish at all, and now they're living a great life in Panama. So let's take a quick look. I know moving out of the country isn't realistic for everyone. Some people have disabilities. Some people need to be close to their families. And quite frankly, I understand that. But just throwing these things out there so you guys can see, like, hey, this is possible. You can live a really good life on $1,200 a month. So let's take a quick look, kind of see a summary of how they're living. Then we'll jump right into the updates. Now, after 9 years of living in David, a city of 83,000 people, they wanted to move somewhere where they could live on a better lifestyle on a small budget. Now, they ran the numbers and figured they could live off savings until her Social Security checks kicked in. So let's take a look at their budget. In Florida, the couple was spending $3,000 a month just on basics like rent and utilities, not even counting clothes and food and restaurants and things like that. Now, in Panama, they rent a home that's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and about 900 square feet, plus a full yard with fruit trees in it in a nice middle-class neighborhood for $385 a month. And water and trash collection is included. Now, in Panama, it's the norm that an unfurnished house means you supply the refrigerator, the stove, and the washing machine. So they did have to buy those things, right? They had to buy a washer, a refrigerator, and a stove, but they're only paying $385 a month for a 3-bedroom house. So they're living a couple, 2 people, off $1,200 a month total. Now, the kitchen stove runs on a gas canister similar to that of an American gas grill, typical for Panama, and costs about $5 for a refill and usually needs to be refilled monthly. So that's an expense they do have. Now, internet and cable is another $46 a month, and insurance for their cars is about $300 a year. So they're not living poorly here. They're living really, really well off $1,200 a month. Now, the only thing here is I'm not quite sure how good the healthcare system is in Panama. I know a lot of people who live out of the country, like Mexico, for example, they actually come back like 2 or 3 times a year to get their medical needs taken care of, to have surgeries or have just like regular checkups. I'm not sure if you'd have to do that from Panama or if the healthcare system is good. I'm not quite sure, but that would probably be the only kind of complication that we might think of. But I'll look more into that for you. But bottom line here, folks, I mean, it seems like you can live a relatively good middle-class life for $1,200 a month for a family of 2. That's incredible. So something to keep in mind. I'm not saying you should move and leave away from your family. I'm just saying it's nice to see that there are options out there, right? There's things you could explore. These things could be something that leads to a really high quality of life in your retirement years. So let me know in the comments, folks. Do you think it's a cool idea? Would you ever consider it yourself? Or do you think it's something that's nice, but you wouldn't really do it? It's not really for you. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so with that said, folks, let's jump right into stimulus checks for seniors, Social Security changes, and what the heck just happened that's going to have a massive impact on all of these things. Well, folks, it's not good news. And on this channel, I love giving good news. Sometimes I have to give some bad news, and quite frankly, it sucks. I hate giving bad news. But what just happened is that the Senate just wrapped up and they're headed on vacation. So they're no longer working on the next stimulus package. They're no longer working on stimulus checks for seniors, which also means that Social Security increases are going to be pushed back even further as well. Now, this is terrible news, as Chuck Schumer was trying to get the stimulus package done by Christmas, and Bernie Sanders was trying to include a stimulus check for seniors in that stimulus package. So over the last few weeks, we talked about how nice it would have been to get a stimulus check for seniors in time for the holidays, folks, as everyone has been struggling. Inflation is getting worse. Seniors are on such a fixed income, right? You get your monthly benefit, which is entirely too small. Then you have gas going up, food going up, rent going up, utilities going up. Seniors are struggling. Then we have Christmas coming. We want to enjoy the season. We want to get our grandkids a small gift, right? We want to get each other a small gift without stressing about having to pay the bills. So a stimulus check for seniors right before the holiday would have been perfect, folks. But this just happened, and they have officially taken their vacation, and they're not coming back until January 3rd, right? So the implication here is, unfortunately, and again, I hate being the bearer of bad news, there is no stimulus check for seniors by Christmas. Now, we're still hoping it could come after Christmas. Hopefully, the stimulus package will be approved in July, and Bernie Sanders will be able to include a stimulus check for seniors in that package. And then shortly after that, they can move on to focusing on increasing Social Security benefits. But currently, this is what happened. Officially, no stimulus package and no stimulus checks before Christmas, and the earliest it's going to happen is January of next year. So how does this impact Social Security changes? Well, let's kind of recap here. We know President Biden said whatever doesn't make it in this current stimulus package is going to be in the next stimulus package in 2022, because he said, yes, they are going to try and do another package. But since this current stimulus package is being pushed back, that means the next package is going to be pushed back even further as well. So most likely we're not going to get Social Security increases until probably the middle of next year. So unfortunately, that's also bad news, but my job here is to keep you informed and to create an informative, caring, and fun community for seniors. Unfortunately, sometimes that information is bad news, right? But at least you know what's happening. At least you know what to expect and what's going to happen next. So with this terrible news, of course, Mitch McConnell is happy, right? Good old Mitch McConnell. And he said that delaying the stimulus check package and including delaying those monthly checks for families and delaying checks for seniors, he said is the best Christmas gift Washington could give working families. See, Mitch McConnell is a bit of a Grinch, right? And whether you vote Republican, sorry, not trying to pick sides politically, but he hates stimulus, right? He hates giving people help. He only wants to give businesses help. So he is saying that if we give people stimulus checks, we're going to cause too much inflation. But we all know the truth here, folks, is that inflation is being caused by supply chain shortages. This is a supply and demand issue. And the main issue here is that there's very little supply due to the supply chain issues. There is not a crazy demand here, folks. If seniors get $1,000 or a $2,000 stimulus check, they're not going to all of a sudden go buy a big old boat and a mansion and a yacht, right? They're going to pay their bills. They're going to put food on the table. Nothing crazy that's going to cause inflation. But of course, Mitch McConnell back at it again, celebrating the fact that stimulus checks were not done. So with that said, folks, that's the update for today. We do have some more updates from the White House. They were asked whether or not President Biden is going to run in 2024 and whether or not Kamala Harris will be his running mate once again. Of course, we've all heard the rumors that they're not getting along, and quite frankly, everyone's saying that Kamala Harris is kind of a miserable person and not really a good leader, not someone that should be in the White House, right? So on top of that, she was asked about the stimulus check package and when they expect to get that done, as well as what's happening with the economy in regards to the pandemic and trying to control the illness, which of course we've all heard is expected to get worse this winter. So with that said, folks, that's my update for today. If you want to stick around for the White House updates, let's take a quick look, see what they had to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video.
And I'm hoping you can clear something up here when it comes to the question of 2024. The vice president did an interview with the Wall Street Journal, and she was asked if she assumed that Biden would run again. And she didn't say yes. She just said that the two of them hadn't talked about it. of course, you all and the president himself has said that he does plan to seek re-election. So what's the disconnect here? Why?
So, I mean, I can't speak to a conversation that the vice president and the president has. I could only say and reiterate what Jen has said and what the president has said himself, that he is planning to run for re-election in 2024. I don't have any more to add to
But
that.
just to be clear, when the president says he plans to run again, he means with Harris on the ticket?
Yes, he does. There's no change, yes, yes. Go ahead.
Karine, can you give us a sense of where the White House sees Build Back Better right now? Do you expect to get any more progress before the end of this year, or is it likely now, from your perspective as well, to be done in 2022?
As you know, we love process questions here. Let's see.
Glad to provide.
So, look, there are a number of conversations happening behind the scenes, and I'm just not going to I'm not in a position to give you an update or to get ahead of what the process is going to be here today. What I can reiterate how important getting Build Back Better done. This is a priority for the president to lower cost again for Americans, as I just listed out: child care, elder care, prescription drugs, universal pre-K. All of these things are highly critical to American families, and that's what they want us to see us do, is to deliver, and that's going to be our focus.